Hi there, welcome to Litecoin Wyckoff Technical Analysis session. So it's almost a month ago that we last covered Litecoin and quite a bit of changes has happened. Though Litecoin has been just trading kind of horizontally. However, the dip this week seems to trigger some questions whether it's going to head to even lower point. So let's find out. Here we're looking at the weekly chart of Litecoin. This channel box that I've drawn many weeks back, it's time to adjust it because all these wicks are poking outside of the box already. So might as well adjust it and see exactly where the price is heading to, or possibly heading to. That's okay. That's roughly correct. We'll get to when we get to the daily chart, we can further adjust. So basically, I was looking at the points where we've got the tips of the wicks or the candles themselves touches the edges. So fall over there, because the usual behavior is for the price to bounce between the ceiling and the bottom of the box. And yes, not yesterday, the current candlestick, basically this weekly candlestick over here, paused right at the yellow key level of $100. So if I enlarge this, you see what I'm talking about. So when the price hit somewhere near 100, there was quite a bit of buying the dip behavior, pushing the price back to right below this intermediate resistance line that's formed by the automatic rally, as well as somewhere around the PSY period. So these Wyckoff stages has pretty much been confirmed. So automatic reaction that comes down from the buying climax, and then obviously we can treat this as a second test, or you can just call it an LPSY eventually if it really dies down, but it hasn't, so let's put it as a second test for now. Because when we did the last session, we asked the question whether this is really the buying climax, because it's quite a bit of distance from the high point of the last buying climax. It's around 9% lower compared to what we had back in December 2024. But then it seems like it is what has happened, and it's not too bad, honestly, compared to some other altcoins where they see a steep decline of the peak values of their buying climaxes, as much as around 20-ish, 30%. This below 10%, I consider it a good performance for Litecoin already. And then back to this stage, it looks to me the sign of weakness has confirmed as well, because that has come down below where the automatic reaction was. So this is definitely a sign of weakness that's going on. So what to expect next, according to the Wyckoff pattern? There can be a rebound, and then another test to the support, the bottom edge support of the upward channel box. If it doesn't stand, then it will come test the 100 yellow key level again. So this little peak over here, we call that an LPSY. So while I'm talking about it, let's put the tag right there. Just add an L and a question mark, because it's not a must that it happen. So if it doesn't, what would happen? It can come down and just go back straight to first the preliminary support and then a selling climax. So that's why it's good to drag them over, because it seems like they're going to happen. You may ask, hey, is there a chance that it doesn't come down? Yeah, absolutely. So the key is whether it stays above this or within this upward channel box. There are two key things. One, remember this yellow dashed line over here, right? So if I enlarge this, drag this across, extend the line, that's the first time point we're getting. I'm just trying to get to a better reference level because this one is pretty rough the way I look at it. This may be a better. So I've got 3 wicks over here and another 2 wicks over here, and 6, 7. So 7 reference points. So this is better than the original level. So here, what I'm trying to get to is, if the price for the next 2 weeks continues to trade within this triangle I'm talking about, if that's the case, then eventually by October 20th that week, latest, a breakout event has to happen. Hey, Amber, I just did the ICP session just earlier, so I'll focus on LTC right now because this is for LTC. Let me know what you want to check when you ask, like checking ICP market cap chart. So this here, when we get to the point near the end of October, when I was trying to say a breakout event is going to happen, okay, got you, different story. I'll go check, thank you. Then either it comes up, meaning it's going to stay within the upward channel box, and then eventually it will come to this time point, the second time point, somewhere near end of November or beginning of December, where once again it has to confirm whether it's going to continue with this uptrend. When that happens and it breaks through the green key level of $116, that's the time where it's got a chance to challenge the upthrust level. So we have this buying climax here. If it really stays that long within the upward channel, it still got a slim chance, 5 to 10%, that it's going to show us an upthrust. Right now, it seems like it's coming down, especially if you are into candlestick pattern analysis as well. We've got this head and shoulder formed, but combining Wyckoff, it's like, yeah, it seems like it's coming towards the end of the distribution, but never say it's 0 chance that it climbs up again, especially it's still within this upward channel box. And the PS, obviously, if that's 5 to 10%, that's 90 to 95%. Okay, this subsequently follows, so it doesn't have to have its own percentage. So that's the big picture. Now let's get to the daily. Just checking. Bollinger Band corner squeeze. The squeeze happened back then, but then that's where it pushes the price to the bottom of the channels. And it's good to switch it on off now. And then rest of the distribution obviously hasn't happened. Now it's challenging the bottom edge of the upward channel box, so pretty consistent. That this is a duplicate. This sign of, wow, that's many duplicates. So this is the sign of weakness. Just want to make sure there aren't any Yeah, that's where it comes from. I copied from this one. Yeah. So another sign of weakness happened. We can bring this across. That has happened already. Make it simple. Just tag these peaks, these jagged lines. We can simplify and just like don't leave them attack. These are good enough. And now, like I said, if it continues to trade all the way into late October, the breakout event will eventually happen and tell us where it's going. This downward channel box, or a bull flag according to the candlestick pattern analysis, well, you can see it turns out to be bullish because it got a little bit of rebound, but that's it. It's not say like it's going all the way to the upwards after distribution. That's what I always say when you look at a bull flag or bear flag. They don't necessarily tell you how high or how low the next move is. Now it seems like it has formed another downtrend, or if we want to, you can consider this more mild downtrend that's heading towards the bottom edge from the ceiling of the bigger channel box, the blue one. So just adjust it so it touches the wicks and not too far off, and extend this further so the ceiling crosses the bottom edge of the blue box. So this time point is interestingly almost exactly the same if I adjust this tip to get as close as they can be. Again, October 24th, not that exact date, I mean it should be before that date that we see breakout happening. And not only that it's going to go here, it has to show us either going to challenge the green or it's going to come outside of the upward channel box, the blue one. Because this is like a double event happening on the same time frame. Hope it's clear to you. Let's see whether we've got the selling climax tag over there. Nope. It's time to borrow these two and bring them over. So the percentages are basically the same as the weekly, so I'm not going to repeat here. That's what we are expecting to happen in pretty much the near future. So I'm going to keep it here. So if you are bullish for Litecoin, you would hope the support continues along this upward channel box. Otherwise, if it falls outside, which is more likely case that according to how I see this right now, it's going to come down to find a support around the orange key level of $79, because somewhat like in between there may be intermediate support that the price can find right here. Let me turn it to white. So that's somewhere around $87, or maybe you can treat it as, well, not even 90. Yeah, 90 certainly it can be, but so somewhere around 68 to 90, this is a range where the price can find support. So I'm referring to these bunch of candles over here. That's why I'm saying $86 to $90. That's the range where it may find the first support. So if it really comes down, it may bounce a little and then eventually come test the orange key level, hopefully stay there for longer and not come down to test the red, because that's what happened back in April just this year, and then earlier it was July last year. So it's pretty unsurprising, I would say, if it comes down to the red. So that's close to the worst case scenario. Worst case is somewhere all the way down to the bottom of the long-term playground zone. So we definitely don't want that to happen. So that's all for Litecoin, and back to you, Aimer. That the question you asked about ICP market cap chart, just quickly while I'm still online. Yeah, flat like a table if we count the initial drop. So the market cap, yeah, it's pretty much dying down. It looks as if it is, and this, it looks as not much different to me if I compare the two charts. So not this, I'm trying to add the market cap chart, ICP. I'm trying to get to where you trying to say, yeah, so turn this off, and let's turn off the drawings as well so we can see. So they're pretty much aligning when I look at the charts here. So when you say it has a different story, tell me what you're referring to, so let's brainstorm together. Let me turn back to the chart view so you see what I'm talking about. The pink line is the market cap chart. So let me turn it to, say, blue, so we can differentiate. Yeah, so it looks like it's aligning to the price chart, and the story seems to be pretty consistent. I have to turn this back to where it is, because it's the price chart is just so flat. Okay, let's hide this. It's, yeah, back on. No, forgot to turn this off. Let's bring it back again. I always like to do this in pink by default. Last low did not break yet, the spring zone. Okay, so let's hope it doesn't. I bet you're saying currently this bots, and let's see where it lost spring. That's where it lost. Well, actually, if you look at the market cap, that's not where the spring was. This, if we look at the price chart, this was the spring, but market cap chart, it wasn't. So market cap chart, that was the low point. So I guess that's what you're trying to lead me to, right? As of now, here, if this was the buying climax, then we are somewhere at similar level, not buying climax, sorry, selling climax back in March this year. We are somewhere at that level, and you're right, if we look at the market cap chart, we're not technically in the spring yet. It's pretty much a test after a second test or multiple second tests, that we are almost at the same level as the selling climax. So it's, I wouldn't say it's different from what I mentioned in the ICP session. So the way I said it earlier was basically it's like the final shakeout to scare away the small fishes or the weaker hands before the big guys or the composite man strike the move up. And whether it's a spring or just a test, it's getting to a level where it's enough to scare people away. Because if we look at market cap, obviously it hasn't get to that point, and it's a good way to double check. And the reason we look at price chart more than the market cap is because our brains kind of fixate to prices. Not many people will look at the market cap as a way to gauge where the price they're comfortable with getting in or getting out. So this, if they have got in when, say, the price started to get up to an automatic rally, so they got in somewhere around here at around let's turn this off so we get back to the price. Yeah, so if they got in somewhere around $5 and they keep holding it, hoping it to happen, and then suddenly the price dropped back to $4, and then you're like, oh my god, that's 20% drop from where I got in, and probably they have their stop loss triggered already, and that's the thing, right? So that's why I said from a price chart point of view, that's already a spring that we are in, much like what happened back in here. It's even lower level that's more than sufficient to scare people away, whoever that got in during this range. So yeah, thanks for your question, Amer. Hope you're good with what we have discussed over here just now. And thanks for everybody else for watching these analysis. Remember to leave a comment or like hit the like so that I know which ones are to keep, because if you look at the community post, I've put in the rules there saying like which coin I'm to cover in my live sessions depends on the engagement. So I know, okay, more people are interested in that particular coin, I'll cover it more. You're welcome, Amer. So thanks everybody. See you in the next session.